The workers of Crooked Bow Sledge. The workers of Crooked Bow Sledge is best described in my writings Frodo Conchavez. It was about the danger of workers' pride, hard laborers' pride. And it turned into judo gone wrong in the dark web on video because of meth and drugs and all of that. That's what happened with Frodo Conchavez. And we look at what happened recently in the Middle East. When we look at what happened in Gaza, and people say women were being trafficked through a system of masks. Is how they will say that Hamas was trafficking women for sex and things like that. Right? That was the scare over there. That's why Israel did what it did. Really sad, but I wanted to explain that again. So look into Frodo Conchavez or the Twisted Metal artwork of Michael Rodriguez to learn more about cultural communism and judo gone wrong. Judo is a sport where people throw each other from their jacket. They both wear clothing that is thick like a jacket, and they throw each other from their jacket. Frodo Conchavez is about judo gone wrong in society. Video NFT Shotokan Karambit, meaning he was on a suicide mission for dark web video fame while masked. Right, and that ties into everything I'm saying. Is the issue is the masks, because people would say, oh, well, who is supporting Palestine if it's a genocide? Who's actually supporting them if it's a genocide? And so I say Israel won that war, and they won that war because of masks. And the reason that it happened was because of black market sex trafficking, because they were able to hide bad women away in masks in a place like Palestine. That's the issue with that program. That is the flaw in Islam, is the niqab, the mask that they put on women, because people would point to it and say, well, they can use that. They can use military law, Sharia law, to do what they want with the women. That's the reality of that, and the reality that is flesh peddlers making deals with crooked Hamas and trading women, and trading women into sex slavery. Because of masks, people would forever make that claim that that sort of program where you mask a bunch of women is about flesh merchants controlling flocks of women and flesh peddlers coming into those areas and purchasing or even stashing, renting women for prostitution from that region because of bad politics and everything, all things considered, given what was going on with what I call a spherical collection of bad people, where you had narco terrorists who were also involved with jihadist terrorists. That's the sadness of it that I see, and that is why Israel won. And because of masks, they were afraid that they would use that to kidnap people. and put them into Sharia law and use advantage in that way because they had a bunch of masked women to peddle them in even the sale of online entertainment. Even the sale of online entertainment, meaning a woman going to Europe and then hiding in a mask in Palestine. Right? That's what I see with something like that. The problem that is masking people. We learned about the dangers of masks in society when we were in Los Angeles. When I was in Los Angeles, what I saw with masks, what that did, right? That was a very scary time in Los Angeles history because of video NFT showed gone crampant. Column radius, Microsoft column radius. Like I said, role point computers, or role point gaming. This is where we're at today, guys, and that was really the big problem with all of it, right? The trash media. But people will forever argue that when you mask a bunch of women and you use guns to make that happen, that it is very likely that those women will get trafficked for sex. Those women will become victims of sex trafficking. Those women will be trafficked by men who took over with guns. And they used the manipulation of surveillance and social media to do all of that, right? That's the issue with that program, that radical Muslim program, the niqabist program. You know, what else can we say about it? The workers of Crooked Bow Sledge and Frodo Conchavez. Look into that. Attach those two ideas together. The new name for the hammer and sickle is Crooked Bow Sledge.